fight has been announced, I've kind of been thinking that this is quite a one-sided affair, and I was genuinely thinking that Carlos Ulberg was just going to run through Dominic Reyes the whole time, but I'm fucking switching it up. I'm actually going to pick Dominic Reyes to finish Carlos Ulberg in round 2, and reasons why. Okay, so we'll start with Ulberg, which is kind of like the obviously he's half the fucking main event. I rewatched his fight with Jan Blachowicz. I was not one bit impressed with this dude. And I've seen a few of his fights with his hand, and I'm not entirely impressed. Dominic Reyes is just a better boxer than Carlos Solberg, in my opinion. Usually I break down the full card, but to be honest with you, this card was fucking wank, and I had no interest in talking about a load of fighters I had no idea about. I wasn't going to spoof these all, I'll just be real. So we're going to hear him, we're going to talk about the main event. Dominic Reyes is a lot more lively on the feet. Dominic Reyes is a lot more. His ability to be able to find you is a lot better than Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg does a lot of work on the outside. He does a lot of work with leg kicks, but he does not have the same level of boxing that Dominic Reyes does. And I feel like this is where Reyes is really, really going to shine. And I feel like he's going to be able to find the shots. I feel like he's going to be able to find, Ulberg moving on the outside. I feel like he's going to be able to find the range. He just needs to look out for those leg kicks. Now, the whole meme of the Dominic Reyes title run starts now. The Dominic Reyes title run starts fucking now, baby. I love Dominic Reyes. I think everyone loves Dominic Reyes. As regards, Carlos Ulberg, I feel like he's a bit boring. Bit boring. Like, I don't necessarily think I've watched Ulberg for years now, and I fuck with Ulberg heavy. But that does not mean that he's entertaining. That does not mean that, he's not. Dominic Reyes, we all love Dominic Reyes. We all want to see Dominic Reyes win. Everyone wants to see Dominic Reyes fucking win. Okay, I remember when he got knocked out by Ryan Spann. It was tragic. And to see Dominic Reyes coming off wins, I didn't think Reyes was actually going to get this fight. Now, I kind of feel like the UFC were a little bit stuck for a main event in Perth, because originally, but I don't know what happened, because I remember a fan was like, oh, we heard that if Makachev or if Ilya wins, this event right now would be a pay-per-view, but if he loses, it would be a fight night. Ilya won, Dana was like, yeah, that makes sense. Dana said that, the fucking Ilya won, and we still have a fucking fight night, which makes no sense, okay? Maybe JDM wasn't ready to go. Something like that. Maybe Volk wasn't ready to go. Adesanya wasn't ready to go. Adesanya versus Strickland, I don't know. This fight just really came out of fucking nowhere, if I'm being completely honest with you. Ulberg is just a bit boring to me. I don't really find his personality great. I don't mind his fight style, but he had such a shit fight against Jan Blachowicz. Now, Ulberg's finished a lot of opponents. Ulberg's been, climbing the ranks slowly. I just would have loved to seen him versus, like, Yuri Prohaska. That would have been such a good fight. Now, I must say, you got to give Ulberg credit here for, fighting down the rankings, because he didn't actually. I wouldn't say he didn't have to, but he could have played that I'm going to sit out and weight card. And if you're a Mateus Gamrot or you're a Carlos Solberg, where you'll sit there and say, fuck it, I'll just fight. He's fighting in his hometown. I respect you. I respect it. Is this a contender fight? I think it is. I think it is. I think the way the light heavyweight division is at the moment, obviously you have Roundtree versus, Yuri. I just mentioned Yuri, but you have Roundtree versus Yuri. That's coming up next week, actually. That's coming up next week, so that's going to be a fucking sick fight. And of course, we have the main event. We have the main event, which is the big fight in light heavyweight. We have Ankalaev versus Pereira 2. I would love to see. Maybe this is a fatal four-way. I like saying the fatal four-way analogy a lot, because that kind of makes sense to me, and I realize what I'm saying. The fatal four-way. So the winner of the two fights will fight. So let's say Roundtree wins, and let's say Ulberg wins, as an example, or Reyes, because I think Reyes is going to win. Reyes and Roundtree. And I guarantee you can mix and match it so many different ways. Apart from Reyes versus Prohaska rematch, but then again, that happened so many years ago where you probably could, play that to be like, oh, that was years ago. Look, Reyes just beat Ulberg and Ulberg just beat Blachowicz, and the UFC will promote. Well, no, they won't actually. They do a fucking shit job at that. But there is kind of like a dynamic here of how this all thing could go. Because I love Dominic Reyes. Oh, we all love Dominic Reyes. He's such a fucking G, and he beat John Jones. He beat John Jones. We just never got to see his hand raised. And for me, I think Dominic Reyes at the top is a bit dodgy as well, but it's a bit more exciting than Ulberg. I feel like Reyes obviously carries. I feel like Reyes carries way more of just like a household name, whereas Ulberg is part of CKB. CKB kind of carry a certain swag and kind of carry a certain level of clout. Kaikar France has it. Where the fuck is Brad Riddell? Is he even in the UFC anymore? I don't even know. I'm gonna look that up later. Brad Riddell, Adesanya, Hooker, Ulberg. You know, these boys roll in style. But they roll as one. Do you know what I mean? Blood Diamond was just known as fucking like Izzy's teammate. You know what I mean? Hooker was the kind of one that kind of branched out and really, made his name for himself. And now Ulberg is headlining in Perth, so he has to be mentioned in that kind of category as well. So the Fatal Four Way, I believe, is next. The winners will fight each other. Who knows what's going to happen in Ankalaev fight? I think Ankalaev is going to knock out Pereira. And I think Ankalaev is quite not going to lose to fucking anybody. And I certainly would not be picking Dominic Reyes to be the one to put the nail in the coffin of Ankalaev. At all. At fucking all, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like Reyes versus Ankalaev would be kind of like a boring fight because I'd just be like the whole time Ankalaev is going to win. I think this is quite a good style for Dom. I feel like this is going to be one of those ones where Ulberg is quite I won't say hesitant on the feet, but he can do things in kind of like a slow motion act. Reyes needs to get busy with his hands early. Early. I feel like Reyes needs to get busy with his hands early. I don't want to see grappling in this fight. I don't. There's going to be no grappling, okay? But I am worried that Ulberg will just pick him apart at range, avoid the in pocket and in moment striking exchanges to where Reyes doesn't really have a chance to get started in the boxing. But I feel like Reyes will find the shots. And I'm going to be picking Dominic Reyes via second round TKO in this one. And my God, MMA fans would just cry with joy. We all just will cry with joy when if Dominic Reyes is able to pull this one off. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a close ass fucking fight. I was the whole time picking Carlos Solberg, but there was like a flip switch. There was like a flip switch in this whole thing. That's why I'm picking fucking Dominic Reyes. I just feel like he's better boxer now, and I don't think now Ryan Spann did knock him out with a jab. I don't think Ulberg has the power of Prohaska. The power of Blahovic. Don't give me this bullshit. Oh well, Blahovic beat Reyes, beat Finish, and then he beat. No, that was like 6 years ago. Literally like 5, 6 years ago. So don't play that card at all. I feel like Reyes is kind of slowly still improving in certain ways, but Dominic Reyes, second round TKO. Let's fucking